Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next movie review for Halloween month. And so now we're doing a film, a new horror film that came out this year, this past summer. So, this is a film that got a lot of praise for. Originally when I saw the I remember seeing the commercials, 5-star here, 5-star this, 5-star that. It was at first it was like 100% Rotten Tomatoes and went down now it's about down to 85% Rotten Tomatoes. This one got a lot of praise, saying it's the scariest movie of the decade. It's creepy, it's disturbing, and this and that, right? And a lot of people like this film. And if you like this film, if you think it's creepy and disturbing, to each their own. I'm not here to change your opinion on that. So what film am I talking about? It's a film called Longlegs. And the film was a big hit. It was like a kind of indie movie from the studio called Neon. It's their highest grossing movie domestically in the US. Made over 100 million. So it was very successful. And especially all the word of mouth it got. Now you wonder why the title is I put in the title why it gets the praise or whatever. I'm like this. Why is the praise? I did not like this movie. I didn't. And people say, "Oh, you hate everything." No. You go with the list of films of each of the past couple of years, or whatever you do every year, what films that I enjoy in that year. Last year, 2022, 2021, those are there was a lot of films I enjoy. You just go back on my list of films I enjoyed from last year, like especially last year. I enjoyed Godzilla -1. That was a Godzilla film that I was kind of scheduled, but I enjoyed it. And that film won an Oscar for Best Effects. And I like the story and the human characters. I enjoy the action film Silent Night that John Woo directed. It's not one of his best movies, no, but it was good to see him come back for that. And I enjoy the drama movie Iron Claw. And that was a film by A24 when they're not doing horror movies. Oh my god. The Iron Claw. I enjoyed that movie. That film got praise. Never got no Oscars, though, sad to say, because went to other ones, though. But, I enjoy that. So there are films that get praise and I enjoyed. So, but this one got a lot of praise. I just don't get why. Because there was a why I don't like this movie, because I think it's a boring movie. And pretty much nothing much happens in the movie. Barely anything happens. And yeah, I get it. It's a slow burn movie, which there are films I like that are slow burn. For horror films, prime example, The Blair Witch Project. That was a slow burn movie. But first of all, that's a good movie, and I was feeling sorry for the characters, getting lost in the woods, trying to find their way back, right? Blair Witch Project, I love. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, that's a great example. It was a slow burn movie, but the thing is, though, you have a director like Stanley Kubrick who knows what the hell he's doing, And with great performances from Jack Nicholson and, yes, even the late Shelley Duvall, rest in peace to her, and from the kid who played Danny Torrance. I enjoyed the look of the movie, the score of the movie, a lot of the camera shots it did. It was a slow burn, but you know what? First of all, The Shining is a classic, especially I would consider a horror masterpiece in my opinion. So those are slow burn. Those are films that take time to get going, but it builds up, and by the end result, it pays off well. So, but here, yeah, so I get it. It's a slow burn movie, and there are films I like that are like that, though. But the thing is, though, not much happens in this movie. It doesn't. Now, the cast, okay. You have Maika Monroe. I liked her back when she was in this horror film called It Follows. where through, sex, you could say, it transfers to one person, they see the evil entity takes on different persons and stuff, right? And I like It Follows. I thought she was good in that movie. Then the last one I saw her, she was in Independence Day Resurgence, the sequel. That was crap. Here she plays an FBI agent investigating these murders, which it's like released to like the father of families the father of each family killing them and then killing themselves. So she's investigating in this though, and it takes place in Oregon, and it leads into this killer by the name of Longlegs, which is played by Nicolas Cage. Which, first of all, I gotta say, Nicolas Cage, I've been liking some of the recent movies he's been doing, for the past few years. I really enjoy Mandy. I like Mom and Dad with him and Selma Blair. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where he plays as himself. Willy's Wonderland. I love Willy's Wonderland. To me, it's a better version of the actual Five Nights at Freddy's. Honestly, I love Willy's Wonderland. There were some of the projects, because I like some of the projects he's been doing because they've been interesting, and I like some of his recent work he's done for the past few years. Here, though, I'm sad to say, people really enjoy his performance in this movie. I'm sorry, he was badly miscast in this. We know the whole thing where sometimes with Nicolas Cage, where he acts all goofy and funny, and he does act over the top at times in a lot of his movies, right? Here, though, me saying it in a very serious manner, he was miscast in this movie as Longlegs. He was very miscast in this film. And he was just being so goofy and over the top. It's supposed to be in this serious horror suspense movie, but he's like, Mommy, Daddy, or we're doing this in the car, like, Mommy, Daddy, and we sit in the car, Daddy. He was just so goofy and over the top, I'm like, and with this is supposed to be a serious, like, cold case murder horror movie, and he's just being so goofy in this. And the makeup, like, I know some people, right, they make references of, like, compare, like, to the Silence of the Lambs, right? First of all, that's another thing. First of all, Silence of the Lambs, that's a great movie. I love Silence of the Lambs. That's another classic as well. When you can compare, there's no comparison. If you compare Nicolas Cage to Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter, there's no comparison. Especially that's a film that had an FBI agent as well, Clarice Starling, played by Jodie Foster. The difference is night and day, because it worked because of the chemistry between Clarice Starling and Hannibal Lecter. What is your worst memory of childhood? Tell me about it and don't lie, or I'll know. The chemistry between Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling, it worked in sync, and it's just how Hannibal Anthony Hopkins gave his performance as Hannibal Lecter. Just when we first meet him, just give him that cold blank stare, and how does he know all this stuff, and just Anthony Hopkins gave the best performance of his career, in my opinion, because if anyone asks about Anthony Hopkins, they're automatically going to say it's Hannibal Lecter. Probably, I would say about 95% they would say that. So, and especially much better, also, not only that, but also a better villain of Buffalo Bill, played by Ted Levine, It rubs the lotion on his skin, or else it gets the hose again. Ah! So you can see he's doing like that. Ah! Doing that over because he's trying to make himself as a woman. That's why he's doing that screaming though. But here, Nicolas Cage is like, Mommy, Daddy. Ah! He was badly miscast in this. I'm sorry. People like his performance in this movie. I won't understand though. That's why I'm saying, why this film got so much praise for. I don't get it. But the thing is, like I said, the whole thing is that she's investigating on these murders because, and pretty much the first hour, they're just finding clues, finding clues, finding clues. Her partner, played by Blair Underwood, and her mom is played by I got the name. The mom is played by Alicia. Yeah, Alicia Witt, who last time I saw her when she was in Urban Legends. You know the horror slasher film Urban Legends. I mean, it was cool to see her in this. I thought she was one of the better parts of the movie, honestly. So it was cool. It was cool to see her in this. But a lot of times, Maika Monroe, a lot of times she just acts like sometimes acts like an idiot during when some horrific things is happening. A lot of times she just stands there and lets it happen. But the first almost of the hour is just finding clues. Oh, they go to this bar. They find this metal orb, and then there's this doll. Oh, jump scare! The eyes go wide open, like this. Wow, that's supposed to be creepy and scary. You know what? Slappy, the dummy from the '90s Goosebumps TV series, was much more scarier and more creepy than these dolls in this movie. Okay. Yeah, I would say yes. Slappy from the '90s Goosebumps, the Goosebumps TV show that I loved growing up. You know, Slappy was a much better creepy character than anybody in this movie. I'm saying it with a straight face, you know. If you talk about compared to the dolls, although that would have been different. I would have laughed, and because hey, that would have been different if actually the killer is actually a dummy. You know, why is he doing all this? I just thought that up in my head, and I'm like, that would have been a much better movie, you know. Yeah, but doll. Oh, jump scare because the eyes opened up. Ooh. And then she goes to see this woman in this asylum. Tells her, hey, what was the quote she said? It was this film left my brain already. Like, oh, is it okay if I kill you? I'd be cool. I'd be fine with that. I'm like, you ain't scaring me, you know, lady, you know. If I kill you, I'll be fine with that. It was something like that when she was seeing this girl in this mental institution, or whatever it was. And we see good shots with Nicolas Cage, you know, and there was this with this woman. And now, okay, like the slow burn like stuff. Okay. There's shots where, you know, how it's like a single shot and it stands still for like a minute or two, whatever. I'm like, is this supposed to be? A lot of times when they do that, though, they say it's supposed to be creepy and scary when the shot is standing still when nothing is happening, you know. And then we see the shot where Nicolas Cage kind of gumps into the camera, but not fully full facing, you know. That's what it showed they did in the trailers. He was like this, but not fully full faced. I mean, those are supposed to... I mean, what is so creepy and scary about this? So creepy and disturbing, you know? I didn't find nothing about this that was creepy or disturbing. All I found was it was a boring movie. And pretty much all that it was basically like the first hour of the movie, and they're still finding more clues. And then she goes and talks with her mom, Alicia Witt. And, oh yeah, by the way, from the beginning, they mentioned, like, they have, like, Maika Monroe has, like, some sort of, I guess she has, like, some sort of a psychic power, you know? Like, half psychic powers. It's not fully explained, but they bring that up, though, but they pretty much don't do nothing with this psychic power at all until, like, when it happens, like, the last few minutes of the movie. So pretty much that whole psychic powers is like completely irrelevant up until the very end. You mention this, you bring this up, and you pretty much don't do nothing until like pretty much the last couple minutes of the movie. But there's a reason behind that. That's why. So, and then eventually one thing leads to another when they capture Nicolas Cage, they bring him in. And then all of a sudden he starts going crazy and starts banging his head against the table. Bang, bang, bang. And Maika Monroe, like I said, she's an idiot because this girl has to be like one of the worst FBI agents I've seen in a while because instead of calling for backup or telling the people, hey, to come in here and like restrain him, you know, to keep him from keeping bashing his head in against the table. No, she just stands there and watches like an idiot, like, until Nicolas Cage is dead. You know, and there's even a point in the beginning of the movie where she rushes in without calling for backup or not following procedure. You know, she hides behind a window, which are like, yeah, that's a good hiding spot where you hide behind a window. Which, the second you look up, the people could shoot you from over there through the window, whatever. No. So this girl is an idiot because she just. How does she train for this? Like, oh, the highest spot is hide behind a window. No. And by the way, when you see this a serial killer bash his head against the table, you just stand there and do nothing, not calling for backup or, hey, get in here, you know, help me restrain him, whatever. No. And then it leads into the point where Blair Underwood, where he's doing the same thing that happens with the past fathers who killed their family. So. And by the way, and Maika Monroe, she's there in their house, and they have a little kid as well. She stands there while all this, like, basically allowing Blair Underwood to kill his wife and himself. Well, though she does save the kid, though she does save the kid. She's like, basically she does one good thing in this movie. She does save the kid, but she's in that house. It's not like where okay. You know how a lot of movies, like, you know, they're on their way, they have to get there until the last minute, you know, whatever, before it's too late. No, she's literally in the house, and she just basically stands there once again, allows all this to happen, while Blair Underwood is basically trying to kill his wife and then tries to kill himself. And then Maika Monroe has to shoot him. Why do you say have to shoot him dead? I mean, like, you can just, like, wound him. You know, and do you have handcuffs on you? You can wound him and then put the handcuffs on him? No. And then it leads to her going back to her mom, and which it turns out, okay, right? You know, because they bring up the whole psychic power to the end. It's because when she was a kid, I guess her mom made a deal with Satan. That's why you have all these dolls, and Nicolas Cage had a hand in it, and that's which lead to all these fathers killing the families. So I guess to help the daughter Maika Monroe when she was a kid, and that's why the psychic part of her was blocked out. Her memories were blocked out of this, and so one thing leads to another that she shoots her mom, and then also basically returns to her, and she goes and shoots the doll, but she has no more bullets. And then she just stands there looking at it. I'm like, you know, you don't need a gun to destroy the doll, right? You know, you can find other instruments like an axe or a hammer or crowbar or anything else to smash it. Or just take it with your hands and just throwing it or bashing it against the ground. No, you don't do that. Or maybe we say, okay, she's frozen, right? Because the same things are probably messing with her mind again, and that's why she's frozen in place. That's why she's not doing anything about it, probably. But it's like, if that's the case, just take the freaking doll and just grab it and just throw it, you know? Throw it or take a hammer to it, bash it to pieces, or stomp on it with your foot, and I don't get it. And this is the film that got such high ratings when it originally came out. 5 stars, 100% Rotten Tomatoes. It's not now; it's down to 85%. But still, like when I saw it in the commercials, it was on. Why this film got so much praise, I have no idea. Yeah, it's like in the title. Why the praise? Why the praise? I'd be like this. Why the praise? I don't get it. Maika Monroe, acting wise, she does the best what she can, but her character a lot of times she's an idiot. A lot of times she stands there and allows bad things to happen, like an idiot. Like Nicolas Cage, he's badly miscast. I mean, I like Nicolas Cage as an actor. I mean, I like him a lot of his movies, even from back then. Like, I love Con Air. I love The Rock. you know, Raising Arizona. Even ones like I mentioned he did for the past few years, you know, Willy's Wonderland, Mandy, Mom and Dad, what was it, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, you know, and I mean, I like Nicolas Cage as an actor. Face Off, like I said, he was just being so over the top, you know, as Castor Troy, or even if it was John Travolta's character impersonating as him, though, but still, it's Nicolas Cage acting, though, still, you know, die! Die! I mean, just like, dude, just tone it down a bit, you know? I mean, his early performance in a Face Off was Oscar-worthy. And here he's doing the same thing. It's supposed to be a very serious horror mystery, solving mystery case, horror film, and yet Nicolas Cage, he's acting goofy and silly, and it's supposed to be a very serious movie. Mommy! Daddy! I mean, we compare it to other. When people say they compare it to other certain films like Silence of the Lambs or The Shining and stuff like that, there's no comparison. Because those movies are classics, and they're much better acted, and better... Okay, one thing, okay, it's a good-looking shot, good-looking movie, I would say. That's one thing I'm getting sick and tired of hearing myself. A lot of these movies, granted, it's not A24, though, but a lot of times, some movies, like, they have good-looking shots. I'm getting tired of seeing the good camera works of the landscapes and stuff like that. It's like a tired thing I'm tired of praising for. Because it's like the only good thing is sometimes films they can only run on is good camera work of shots of wide open shots. Now, like I said, this is not an A24 movie. It's not, though, because A24, they buy certain movies, and that's where they put their logo on there. But I know this is not A24. This is Neon, though, but still. Yeah, I'm getting tired of saying good-looking shots of stuff, you know. I'm tired of hearing myself praising certain things like that, because that's only a lot of times that's the only times of films they can run on. And oh, by the way, speaking of music, the score for this movie, the ending song for this is T-Rex, you know, Bang a Gong, Get It On, you know, get it on, bang a gong, get it on, do, get it on, bang a gong, get it on. I'm like, that is like one of the most, like, misused songs in a different tone for the tone of this movie. That is a completely misuse of a song. It doesn't fit the movie at all. It doesn't. I don't think, why would that be a good song choice to end a dark, serious serial killer horror movie like this? I don't get it. But that completely does not fit with the movie at all. Yeah, it's like with the ending of American Werewolf in London, where it was such a depressing ending where David Dunn gets shot dead by the police, and then it ends with, you know, blue, blue, blue moon, blue. I get it, it's a moon, werewolf, and all that, though, but it's like, you have a depressing ending that it just ends abruptly, cuts to black, and you have, like, blue, blue, blue moon. It's like serious movies, and the ends with songs like this. This is definitely one of the movies I've seen where the ending song does not fit the movie at all. I don't know who was thinking to put that as an ending song for this movie. I don't get it. Does not fit the movie at all. But yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, people like this film. They think it's creepy and disturbing. Please feel free to, but I don't. I found nothing creepy or disturbing about it. All I found was a boring movie, a miscasting of Nicolas Cage, goofy, silly, an FBI agent who's pretty much like one of the worst FBI agents I've seen in quite some time. Stands around like an idiot, where bad shit is happening. A misuse of a song that does not fit the movie when the film ends. Yeah, it's a slow burn movie, I get it, though, but the thing is, you have to make it intriguing, but no, this is just made it into a boring movie, you know? So, like I said, I don't get the praise for it. I was not a fan of this movie. To me, it sucked. In my opinion, it sucks. I'm sorry. People can like this film. Please feel free to. I don't hold anybody against who likes this movie. Feel free to like whatever you want. I'm not here to change your opinion. I'm only speaking for myself. Like I said, there's a lot of films I like that got critical praise. I do. This is a film that got critical praise. That's not one of them. It's not made for me. It wasn't my cup of tea. So that's my review for Longlegs. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more to come for Halloween month, and we'll see you next time. Later.